The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today, both the readings are so rich, the first reading and the Gospel. The first point that we get from today's Gospel reading is the human tendency to walk away when there is trouble, to walk away or to separate ourselves from people we know and people who love us. We prefer to isolate ourselves, locked up, and just remaining with our own thoughts in our minds. The second point that we get is, especially during times of stress, we tend not to listen to others. We prefer to follow our own ways of behavior. And sometimes we prefer to do something radical and different. Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, has warned us in his spiritual exercises and his writings, when you are in desolation, don't make any major changes. These two disciples could have easily stayed with the rest of the brethren in Jerusalem, but they decided to leave Jerusalem as if wanting to get off their backs all the sorrow and the stress that they had experienced in the last few days. The third point that we get is Jesus' invitation to them. Obviously, he knows everything that had happened, but he asked them the question, what sort of things? He invited them to tell their story. And so, this is a very important therapeutic tool that Jesus gives us when we are facing illnesses, when we are facing tragedies, maybe financial losses, maybe emotional disturbance, maybe our spirit is dry. What does Jesus invite us to do? Tell your story. The importance of telling your story, sharing your story, maybe even writing your story in a journal during difficult times has always proved therapeutic. A story that is not told, that life becomes less rich. And finally, the fourth point for us to remember is to continue keeping the Eucharist as the center of our lives. The disciples finally recognized him in the breaking of the bread, in community. As you can see, all these 4 points emphasize being with people, being in community, even though the human tendency for us is to withdraw, to keep away, to isolate. If we do this, then the healing that was brought about by Peter in the first reading can be ours. No matter how many years we have been suffering with an ailment or with a problem or with a difficulty. But if we truly believe, like that crippled, God will not give us what we are expecting in small doses measured out, but he'll give us something much beyond our dreams. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, whatever it is you are going through, believe, have faith, and then you will be filled with amazement and astonishment at what happens to you. I'll end with just the short mnemonic for us to remember the 4 parts. SSSE. Stay put. Don't move away. Keep the status quo. The third S, story. And the fourth is Eucharist. Stay, status quo, story, and Eucharist. Whenever we are feeling down, whenever we are feeling overwhelmed, whenever we are suffering.